Hatchet is sitting outside, basking in the sun. I don't know if you could see him. There he goes. He's basking in the sun, chained up. He's getting used to his boundaries. And, but the reason I'm recording is because I was downstairs in the basement, preparing the house for the winter, kind of insulating the, the windows and doors to stop the airflow coming through them for the winter. And I'll show you in a few minutes or within a minute or two of what I've done. But my neighbor, he called me to come and get some local honey, local made honey. And God is so good because I just ran out of my honey. I had just ran out of my honey within the week. And here it is. God is supplying some local fresh made honey. And so that's where that is. But yeah, and also he gave me some garden grown squash. One of his buddies gave him some squash, so he gave me some of the squash as well. So I'm thinking maybe I could get seeds out of those, and especially these two, and be able to save for next season. But what I'm recording about is that I had just got through prepping the house for the winter. Oh, and by the way, this is going to be my next project regarding the home. The different projects I'm working on making the fixer-upper a home. So I could stop calling it a fixer-upper. I'm ready to call it a home. I did get to paint over the stairwell. I said I wasn't going to do that, but I was able to muster up enough courage to paint over the stairwell. And again, this is going to be my next project, finding some type of, I don't want paint because I know once you step all over it, the paint will be scratched off more and more. So some type of linoleum. But this blanket is part of the preparation for the winter. And it's been here since I've been here because I moved here during the winter. And this plastic along the window is also preparation for the winter. And I have, I should put tape, but I feel for wind. There's no wind because the window is closed. But at one time or another, I do feel a wind flow, and that's why I put the plastic there. And I don't feel any wind flow in the different rooms of the basement area. I don't feel any wind flow. And again, sooner or later, I would like to rent these rooms out, because that was basically my livelihood, of my cash flows, of how I maintained my livelihood by renting rooms. So I would like to rent these rooms out, especially if I'm going to be living by myself, to generate extra income, cash flow. I would like to rent. I have 2 rooms that could be rented out. That was one over there that I just showed you, and this is the second one. But and it feels so warm in here compared to outside. Before, when I came in, before I did the insulating the airflow, you could feel the wind blowing like you could feel the wind pressured through whatever seams the wind was coming through. It was a very strong airflow. But before I did that, it would be colder in here than it would be outside. And now that I have insulated, and what I call insulated is I put plastic bags in between the seams of the door, and also tape, that clear tape. I taped it all the way down. So there is no, I run my hand along it so to feel any air. I don't feel any air. So I have all of this taped. All of this is taped. And this is a plexiglass. During the summertime, I take the plexiglass down and but yes, this is all taped down. I feel no airflow whatsoever, and I thank you, Father. It's all taped down. And no airflow. There was an airflow in between the doors where they closed, so I got tape in between the seam here. Yeah. And I'm just amazed at the difference of the wind temperature in here. And I don't feel the airflow because last winter I had blankets and everything all up, but I don't feel the airflow. So these windows are pretty good. They're insulated pretty good. And the door is insulated pretty good because let me see, I did. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. But I don't feel any airflow. And this was the main part that I was trying to stop all the wind from blowing through last winter or winter before. The first winter I moved here. Because last winter wasn't cold as compared to the first winter when I moved here. But if any more needed insulating would be done, it would be around this door area, because pretty much everything is very well insulated. I don't feel any coldness. And in the true basement, even the basement temperature is a lot warmer than it normally would be. So, but preparing for what my basic video was started as, the neighbor, when he was giving me the honey and the squash, he said he was telling me we may be looking at a very cold winter, his words were a bad winter this winter. And I told him, speaking of that, I just got through prepping my house to get it prepared for winter, because he was talking about his wood. He had to burn wood all night last night, and he thinks he has enough for the winter and stuff like that. So, but yeah, prepping for the winter. In the fixer upper, what I was doing was fixing the blanket to block all of the when I enter the basement area, I have a big blanket to block all that, just to stop the wind or anything coming through that way. And if any more airflow comes through this window, I would be taping it up even more around the edges, but it's sealed pretty good. But yeah, right now, I assume those of us that are living in homes, we are preparing for the winter. And I think I'm ready. And he also told me about the place where you get your fuel tank, your gas tanks, or whatever the tank's called. I didn't even use mine. I told him I'm really wanting to use those need bases, emergency bases. But I've never even used my brand new heater. And it is a stove cook on the top of it. You could cook on the top of it. But the propane tanks, that's what he was calling them. Propane tanks. He was telling me that there's a place that has refills for $12 for the 20-gallon tank. And I have my tanks here. I've never used any of them. But push come to shove, we're ready for the winter. Prepping for the winter. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Have a blessed day.